Marcus Cicero was storm-tossed among the likes of Catiline and Claudius, of Pompey and Crassus, declared enemies on the one side, doubtful friends on the other. He was buffeted along with the ship of state, which he tried to keep steady as it was going down, but he was finally swept away. He was neither at ease in prosperity, nor capable of withstanding adversity. How many times does he curse that very consulship of his, which he had extolled, not without reason, but without ceasing. How pitiful are the words that he wrings from himself in a letter written to Atticus, when the elder Pompey had been defeated, and his son was still trying to revive his shattered forces in Spain. "You ask," he says, "what I'm doing here? I'm lingering in my Tusculan estate, half free." After that, he goes on to other statements in which he bemoans his former life, complains about the present, and despairs of the future. Half free, Cicero said of himself. But needless to say, the sage will never resort to such an abject term. He will never be half free, but will always enjoy complete and unalloyed liberty. Not subject to any constraints, he will be his own master and tower above all others. For what can there be above the man who has risen above fortune? Livius Drusus was a vigorously energetic man who, thronged about by a huge crowd from the whole of Italy, had agitated for radical legislation and provoked the kind of troubles that Gracchi had. But he could see no clear way out of his policies, which he was unable to carry through, and which, once started, it was no longer an option to abandon. He is said to have cursed the life of constant activity that he had led from its very beginnings, saying that he was the only person who had never had a holiday even as a boy. While he was still a ward, and had yet to assume the adult toga, he ventured to plead before juries on behalf of defendants and to exert his special influence in the courts, to such effect, in fact, that it's generally accepted that he captured several verdicts against the odds. Where would such precocious ambition not find an outlet? You might have known that such premature presumptuousness would lead to disaster both for him and for the state. And so it was too late when he began complaining that he had never had a holiday, since he had been a troublemaker and a burden to the forum from his boyhood. It is unclear whether he died by his own hand. He fell suddenly from a wound to the groin. Some doubted whether his death was self-inflicted. No one that it was timely. It would be superfluous to mention more figures who, although they seemed to others the happiest of mortals, themselves gave true testimony against themselves when they expressed intense hatred for every act of their lives. Yet by these complaints they changed neither themselves nor anyone else, for after the outburst their feelings reverted to their normal state. In reality, your life, even if you live 1,000 years or more, will be compressed into the merest span of time. Those vices of yours will swallow up any number of lifetimes. To be sure, this span of time, which good management prolongs, even though it naturally hurries on, must, in your case, escape you quickly. For you fail to seize it and hold it back, and you do nothing to delay that speediest of all things, but you allow it to pass as if it were something overabundant that we can get back again.